iteration. Sebastian Clark, he's the driver who is with Synergy. We've had that clarified. Sebastian Clark for Synergy on the pole position with Jensen Seal alongside. Leo Livings, also with Synergy. He's on third place with fourth place alongside him, Oscar Roach. Third row of the grid is Harvey Bacon and Adam Giuditis. And then on the fourth row, Jensen Walker and Ryan Townsend. In ninth and 10th, we've got Jackson Hilton and Amrit Singh Atwell. Sixth row of the grid, Victor Poppercull and Eli Rideout. And it's Hugo McCluskey, after what I can only describe as a bit of a troubled weekend for Hugo, making the jump up from Honda Cadets into Intermax. There he is on the number 114. He's with the True Performance Motorsport. That's his dad there with the glasses, just sorting his hair out. Must realise he's on camera, eh?
Yeah, Lee knows where cameras are.
Does he really?
Yeah, definitely. Difficult weekend for Hugo. Problems in one of the heats with the kart, and then a problem at Ashby in the super heat where he went in a little bit too deep, went off and got the kart stuck on the grass, meaning he had to retire. So he will go off the final row in P13, see whether he can make a little bit of progress through. But this one's been a really interesting to and fro, hasn't it, into 950. Sebastian Clark, the early pace setter. Leo Livings has retired from a race, finished, and then had to work his way back up. Won the second heat. Went well again then in the super heat. He goes off straight behind Sebastian Clark. And it's going to be a very, very interesting battle. It could be, for me, it could be any one of them top three on the top step of the podium.
It's very close. Let's get back to the 2025 calendar that we inadvertently announced in the lunch break. We've mentioned round 1 at Wardenlaw, round 2 at Shennington, round 3, Glanigors. One of the, if not the most picturesque venues to go racing of any sort. The undulations, the rolling hills of the North Wales countryside. It's one of the country's, well, I've said picturesque, I'm not going to use that again. It's one of the country's most technically demanding tracks, as well as being pretty.
Yeah, particularly you get a huge amount of speed on the run up the hill towards Spoon Curve. Then you come back down the hill into the off-camber left of the Oblivion. You run back up the hill then, because the whole track is on a hill, before the right-hand complex down through the Devil's Elbow, which is a very, very interesting complex of corners that is almost single file, but is critical to a fast lap time round Glanigors. So I'm sure that all the drivers will be looking forward to going there, but maybe even more so to round 4, Joe, as we head to effectively the Silverstone of British karting.
That's how I described it, and that's how I see it. I mean, PFI, Paul Fletcher International, just over the road from Fulbeck, one of the old school tracks. But when Paul Fletcher got the land, he built the track, he built the facility. He wanted the premier kart track in the country. He certainly got that. We recently had the OK Finals, didn't we?
Yeah.
World Finals, in fact, the World Championships. There it is the track in the UK that you get the fastest top speed from. Now, average speed, I need to do this actually. I don't know if you've done this. Have you looked at the average speed of all of the tracks and seen which track's the fastest, which track's the slowest?
No, but it's got to be up there with Three Sisters. Three Sisters is
Three Sisters got to be,
we know is unbelievably
average.
quick. So yeah, I'm not quite sure. PF's probably for me is a little bit longer in terms of lap that they're running on full power, but it's a superb circuit.
It's an easy mathematical equation: time over distance equals speed. So it's perhaps one of those long dark winter nights. I'll sit down and I'll do that, just going off some senior Rotax, or maybe even gearbox carts. Where's my brain? KZ. Maybe the KZs will be the quickest carts on the short tracks here in the UK. But senior, we'll have a look at that and see what sort of lap times over distance we've got. And maybe somebody sat at home with a calculator can work that out for us while we have to focus on this race, which is about to get underway. We've got the karts out on track. It's the Intermax 950 final. And we've got Sebastian Clark on the Synergy kart that leads the field round. He'll start collecting them all up on the back straight now, I think. As he slows down to walking pace, there he is on the number pardon me, the number 151. Alongside him is the number 140, which is Jensen Seal. Who's that? Which is that livery? Is that Envy?
Yeah, it's TWR. TW Racing. TWR for Jensen Sale.
Here we go.
So head towards the tram lines. We've got driver on the right. Yeah, I thought that was going to happen. The train on the right-hand side all sort of came together and wouldn't. The 123 of Ryan Townsend just couldn't get back in. So I'm pleased to see that we have rolled that round because it was a bit of an untidy
messy,
start.
wasn't it? Yeah, it was a bit messy. If Dan Ashton's still awake, he'll have been having a look at that, thinking the same as us. No problem. If he is still awake, why are you still awake? 'Cause what time is it there? It's about. Oh, no, it's not. It's not even midnight. It's not even midnight.
No,
what time is it in Malaysia
half
right
9,
now?
10 o'clock, I think.
Yeah. Well, he goes to bed at 9 o'clock. I've heard.
Similar time to. Before that, he'd have taken his trainers off and put them in the hotel safe.
Yes, that's right.
Because it's more important to him than his
right.
wallet and phone.
Wait, they have their own carry case for travelling, though, don't they?
Yes, I believe they did. Like a helmet bag.
Yes.
For his trainers.
Yeah, his trainer bag. Here we go, then. Let's try this again, then. Sebastian Clark and Jensen Seal, you get another try at this, and why is it always the Intermax kids that are a little bit too impetuous? He's getting hit, he says, the number 140, Jensen Seal. He's saying, I'm getting hit up the back end here, so can we, keep the pace up? It's where they accelerate, and they've accelerated already, and we might not like that. But we are running and racing towards oblivion.
It's been a good start by the poleman Sebastian Clark, and right behind him Leo Livings has got an even better start as Leo Livings jumps from third to first, and Leo Livings will lead us up into the Christmas corner in front of Sebastian Clark. Then it's Jensen Sale in front of Oscar Roach, and then that looks like it could be Harvey Bacon as Roach goes down the inside of Jensen Sale. It's the 121 of Adam Jaudiausis who's made a good start there in the black helmet green car, running in 5th place. One to watch after that retirement earlier on in the superheat.
Leader choosing to take the defensive line on cold tyres. You've got to be really careful. These carts are very twitchy until these tyres come up to temp. But it is definitely the 177 from the second row of the grid that will lead across the line to complete lap 1. Let's see who the top 10 is. As they click across the line, it's Living, Sebastian Clark, Oscar Roach, Jensen Sale, Adam Judaitis, Jensen Walker, Ryan Townsend, Harvey Bacon, Jackson Hilton, and Victor Popical rounding off that top 10. It's going to change though.
Yeah, it looked like that was Ryan Townsend trying to get down the inside of the 171 of Jensen Walker, and he's got the move done. At Christmas corner, moves up inside the top 6 for Ryan Townsend. Good start, and picks off another place in front of him. The top 2, I was about to say breaking away, which they are, but they're not exactly close together. It's been a good start by Leo Livings, who jumped up from that 3rd place, and let's see whether Sebastian Clark can do anything about that 171.
Now, if you're new to Rotax karting and you're just watching for the first or even the second time, you might have even forgot the Micromax final that we've just seen. These are basically the same karts. They've got exactly the same 125cc water-cooled Rotax engine, single cylinder, and the Micromax engines are stifled power-wise with an air restrictor. These Intermax engines are stifled a little less than the Micromax engines, but they're still stifled considerably more than the junior Rotax engine. That engine then can be taken into the senior class where it's completely unstifled whatsoever, and it can fully breathe and catch its breath for full power from the 125cc. Meanwhile, in Intermax, Leo Livings on his Intermax Rotax continues to lead, but it's his teammate, the number 151, Sebastian Clark, Synergy 1-2.
Certainly is. A bit more grip on these as well. They've given them more power, they've given them more grip. The Micro's running on the Vega Cadetti tyre, which is a very narrow tyre actually, compared to the Mojo's C2 tyre that is being run here in our Inter class. In the battle for 3rd place, Oscar Roach, Jensen Sale and Adam Jadiausis closing in on the back of Sale. They're dragging Ryan Townsend along as well.
Yeah, I think, you know what, the two Synergy boys they'll have had a chat, wouldn't they? They'll have had a bit of a brief before they came into this final. And it's like, I'm not sure if team orders are going to come into play, whoever's leading at the 2-minute mark, the 1-minute mark. I don't think karting works like that. But I think at this stage of the race, 12 minutes is a long time we're already just about 45 seconds away from the first third, and these two working very well together at the front of this field to keep Oscar Roach, Jensen Seal and Giuditis away from that front battle.
Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to see any hacking and Coulthard at Melbourne where whoever leads into the first corner gets to take the checkered flag irrespective of where they are. I don't think we're going to see any of that. What I think we'll see is a concerted attempt from Leo Livings and Sebastian Clark to push away and stay out of trouble in the first 10 minutes of this race. I'm fairly sure at the level they're at, the team will have said, push and push and push, the final 2 minutes, do what you want, lads.
Yeah, I think that's usually the textbook way of going about things, isn't it? You've got the 4-cart train of Roach, Sale, Giuditis and Townsend now, as these two Synergy carts seemingly glued together, powering each other around, using the tow to great effect, because they're pulling a gap that's gone out a little bit. 1.69 seconds the gap across the line. Prior to that it was about 1.4, so it is working. Meanwhile, there's the third place battle involving a 4-cart train. You know what though, David, you daren't kind of look away from that Synergy too, and that was a hit up the back, wasn't it?
No, it was Adam Jaudiausis who got into the back of the cart in front of him. I'm not sure Ryan Townsend's made contact there, and he certainly hasn't. It was Jaudiausis got in the back of Oscar Roach.
Nobody touched anybody, did they?
Well, he tapped the back of Oscar Roach, and that sent the rear end of his cart slightly light, and that is a corner where you can't do that because you're sort of going in left, but you're also very mindful. If you get wide on the curb on the outside, it lifts the cart up and you generally spin around. Adam Jaudiausis, who I thought was in with an outside shot of a podium here, such was his pace throughout this weekend, will fall down the order. He's crossed the timing line in 8th place.
He's lost 3 places, which is probably quite lucky actually. The number 180 there, Harvey Bacon, with Jensen Walker right on his tail. They are battling for 6th and 7th. They've just gone ahead of Jauditis as he continues now on a bit of a recovery drive. The purple and white cart there is Harvey Bacon, Jensen Walker on the orange and blue cart. We'll keep an eye on what's happening at the front of the field as the now 3-cart train of Jensen Sale, Oscar Rudge and Ryan Townsend. Meanwhile, Leo Livings and Sebastian Clark continue at the front. There's the battle for second, David.
Yeah.
And then just in the foreground there, the background I should say, is the battle for the lead. We'll keep a wary eye on that.
Yeah, I think that one is something that we'll probably come back to in 2 or 3 minutes' time, because I think those two are under strict instructions at the moment. The battle for third place is slightly less strict, because there's certainly no team orders in this one with Jensen Sale for TWR. Then it's the RCE driver of Oscar Roach. The 123 of Ryan Townsend on that zip chassis. Bounces his way over the curbs and does get a good run, because Oscar Roach is a little bit slow on exit, and that's going to fall him away off the back of Jensen Sale. Behind them there's that battle between Harvey Bacon and Jensen Walker over 6th place. Big gap back to Adam Jaudiausis, who's recovering from that spin earlier on.
It's a flat-out train, these three. 3rd, 4th and 5th place there. And if anything, it looks like Oscar Roach just beginning to think about maybe having a challenge. It looked a little bit like he was having a poke down the inside, just a look down the inside, just a bit offline. Just getting out of the airflow of Jensen Sale. On towards the boot then. Turns in the left-hand bit and now into the hairpin right. Has to tuck it right in now that the chicane is here. And then clattering across the chicane there. Almost onto 2 wheels, number 123, the zip cart driver, Ryan Townsend, using that curb very efficiently.
A much tidier line round the final corner from Oscar Roach has seen him draw up onto the back of Jensen Sale here. Thought he was going to consider popping out there. Such was the closing speed of Oscar Roach in the white suit with the pink helmet, closing in on Jensen Sale, but electing maybe a lap of push away for Jensen Sale, because they have managed to break slightly from Ryan Townsend behind them. And, Oscar Roach, who is a fan of taking a slightly different line. He takes a later apex into the left-hander there at Osiers, but it does give him a little bit more speed down the straight into the boot. And once again, I think he's closed up on Jensen Sale. Again there on exit, Sales running up the power a little bit earlier and to open that gap up.
That looks like Oscar Roach might have a drop nose, by the way. Just check that out. Just check that nose cone out.
It looks low.
It's very low.
Yeah, it doesn't look wobbly, but certainly not fully out of the bracket, which you definitely don't want here at Whilton, because the curb on the exit of the final corner is dogtooth. I've seen karts get launched over their own nose when they've been ripped out of the fixing here at Whilton. When they've got a full drop down and they're flopping around, there is that risk.
They tend not to use those curbs on the exit of pits.
Not anymore, do they?
No, they keep well off them, which was exactly why the chicane was designed and put in, just to stop that very fast pit bend. Here it is. We used to have them going all the way over that curb. There's no need to do that. That would cost you time going all the way out there, so everybody choosing not to. Still Leo Livings by about just under 0.2 of a second at the line in first, Sebastian Clark in second, and then these three, Jensen Seal, Oscar Roach, Ryan Townsend, that's the order. The bright green shoulders, or the bright green overalls actually, of Jensen Seal, easy to pick out. And there's a move for that fourth place there as Ryan Townsend, and he's going to come back at him. The Zipcar driver has a go, but it's Oscar. Was that Oscar Roach that spun round, or was it Ryan Townsend?
No, it was Townsend going
Townsend
round
on the zip. Yeah, of course.
He tried to go round the outside and then slotted back to go to the inside. Got the nose down the inside, but the wheel was not quite far enough, and it's tipped him round into a spin. His chances of a podium are gone. There's the 171 of Jensen Walker. I was just making sure that it wasn't one of those two drivers pick up a warning. We come back to the front because, as we expected, Joe, 2 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And all of those orders, early doors, have been thrown out of the window.
Yeah, you can see the change in body language, can't you? It's almost a change of personality for these youngsters. And indeed, Leo Livings points at his helmet, points forward. Leo Livings with the blue top on his helmet. Sebastian Clark with the red and white helmet behind. This is where they start fighting now. It's a synergy 1-2. They're in the same awning. They're probably good friends off the track in between races. But right now, with just under 90 seconds to go, here they go across the line then, 13 laps completed. And the question is, can Sebastian Clark have a go at Livings and take the lead and indeed the top step of the podium?
3 laps to go in our Intermax 950 class. The run up towards Christmas corner. Leo Livings in front of Sebastian Clark. Livings under pressure now, but not defending too hard from Sebastian Clark. I imagine it'll be a different story next time round as they go under, and they'll see that there are only 2 laps to go in this one. But Clark not particularly close enough to make a late move. It would be different if it was the final lap. I think he'd just dive down the inside, give Livings something to think about. But at the moment, there's no point going too soon. No point showing the hand either, because that just means that Leo Livings will have it scouted next time round.
Absolutely right. 2 laps to go. They are going to be seeing the last lap board next time by, and I think Livings is absolutely flat out. He seems to have upped the pace. He knew Sebastian Clark was going to start challenging. Like I say, they're in the same awning. They're both with Synergy, so they know how they operate. They know how each other operates, and he knew that Sebastian Clark was going to start coming back, and that's why he's maintaining that gap. He's absolutely flat chat now. Just watch the body language of these karts, and you'll see them using all of the curbs and a little bit more wherever they can, just to keep the momentum of these Intermax karts up. And here they come into the boot for the penultimate time, across the chicane curbing, into the final lap. Then it is, David, Leo Livings, Sebastian Clark.
Clark with 2 kart lengths to try and close in on Leo Livings. Leo Livings at the moment probably won't have to defend in the run up to Christmas corner, but I think he will anyway. No, he doesn't. Takes the optimum line, leaves the door open for Clark, but Clark not close enough as they run back down the hill now, down towards Ashby. And Sebastian Clark again, I don't think he's close enough, Joe. He's going to have one final opportunity for me to dive into the left-hander at the boot.
I think this is a great drive from Leo Livings too. It's very hard to lead, isn't it? It's easier to follow, I always thought. And here comes Clark's last opportunity. The opportunity's running out. And a great drive from Leo Livings into the boot. He defended well. Order gets a little nudge up the back. He tried to hold him up there into the boot, but they accelerate now through pit bend after the chicane, and it'll be Leo Livings that takes the first round of the Kart Championship Winter Series. and it's a Synergy 1-2 with Sebastian Clark coming second. Jensen Sale hung on to that third place ahead of Oscar Roach in fourth, and then we had Harvey Bacon in fifth, Ryan Townsend in sixth, Adam Giordaitis recovered to seventh there with Jensen Walker eighth, and it'll be Jackson Hilton. So it's Amrit Singh Atwal gets ahead of the newcomer Jackson Hilton for ninth. Hilton will obviously come 10th, and then Hugo McCluskey 11th with the 12th place finisher Victor Popical and Eli Rideout rounding off the 13 kart field.
Really smart drive and a really smart final lap, I felt there, from Leo Livings, particularly into the boot. He made sure that by just taking the right-hander and easing off the throttle in the middle of the boot, that Sebastian Clark couldn't get a good run at him out of the final corner. It was a smart move from Leo Livings, and it was one that deserved the victory from the 177. Leo Livings takes the victory from his teammate Jensen Sale, joins them on the podium in the Intermact class.